This is SEMA YOTE SHOW. I'm your host Shalom Patience. Today we are listening to the story of Mark Mungai, who is seated right behind me. Mark survived an accident and he's a spinal cord injury warrior. Everyone out there has a life story, and today we are going to listen to the story of Mark Mungai.
I'm Mark Mungai Korea. Yeah, as most of you know me, I'm Mungai Diaries. Yeah.
Okay, so where were you born? How was life growing up?
I was born in a village called Kerangara Kekoni. It's around Wanjiku. That's past Kabete. Yeah. Born in a family of 4, and I'm the last one. Yeah.
Your school, where did you study?
My school. So I started schooling in these what are they called, CDF funded schools. Studied in one in a polytechnic. Then went to Kibiku Primary School. I did my class 8. Passed but not that well. Then joined Larry Boys for Form 1 and Form 2. Then Form 3 I transferred to Kahuohuru High School, where I did my Form 4. And joined the University of Nairobi, where I had been studying.
Yeah. So what were you studying in your N?
The university. I was studying Bachelor of Arts, where I had majored in economics and sociology.
What did you like doing?
I used to like traveling a lot, partying, hiking. Yeah, those are the major things.
Take us through that day when the accident happened.
Okay, it was on a Saturday. I was revising for my exams since I was starting end of first semester exams in 4th year, that the following Monday. So Saturday, studying at home. Then I called my brother, asked him where he was, and he invited me to a function he had attended. So after finishing my studies at around 2 or 1, I went to where he was and tukapiga sherehe. Yeah, but I had gone with my books to study there, so I finished my studies at around 5. Then tukaendelea na sherehe. So then tukaenda home. Went to his place. Then now the next day we woke up and kaingia tu kwa gari. Can't remember very well where we were going. So I got into the car and decided to sleep in the back seat. And now that's up to where I can remember, because the next time that I woke up I was in Kenyatta. I didn't know I was in Kenyatta, but when I asked where I was told I was in Kenyatta. It was on 5th of December 2021. It was on a Sunday. That's when the accident happened. So I remember it's waking up on a Monday then but my family is there. But kuna jua I was. So ndo nikauliza, I'd asked the nurses earlier on that day where I was, but nilipewa tu dawa nikaambiwa niko hospitali.
And how did it feel waking up and seeing like people around you, something you had not expected?
Okay, I didn't know or realize that something was wrong. So I was just there smiling.
You had not noticed something was wrong?
No, I hadn't noticed that something was wrong. Until now, my mind was not even in that particular situation. My mind, I wasn't thinking about the situation that I'm in and what has happened. So people started coming, wananishikashika miguu, waniuliza can you feel? Naambia hapana. Tumbo hapana, mikono hapana. Yeah.
And how did your family like react?
Well, I don't know how to put it, but my family was not in a good place, since this is something that no one expected. So, and also they walikuwa naogopa kuniambia what had happened. They thought maybe I would be stressed up ama have anxiety ama those panic attacks and everything, of which baadaye zilikuja happen. Yeah, but not after I was told. So as I was lying there ndo sistangu akinifeed, nikamuuliza where I was, akaniambia niko Kenyatta. Nikamuuliza what happened, akaniambia tulipata accident na my brother and my cousin. I can't remember what else I asked her, but when some of my family members realized that nimejua what had happened, like ikakuwa a bit chaotic because like they were trying to hide the whole situation from me. But baadaye ndo nikajua, na I didn't think about it, but I was okay with it. Ndo later on nika realize that the whole week my mind wasn't in the situation that I was in. So the whole week, a few days nilikuwa tu sawa. Then when the medication started, and then nikaona by then this is something serious. So kutoka hapo nikaanza kupata anxiety, panic attacks, ni kushtuka, I don't know. It wasn't good. To a point I had to be put on oxygen, ndo juu nilikuwa nashindwa kupumua saa zingine. So medication started, I was put on head traction. If you can see, kuna some spots on the skull. So they had to put like a chuma yenye inashika huku kwa skull, inavuruta skull juu. Since before then, we had to do an MRI to see where exactly the injury is and how my spine is. So ndo MRI kutoka, that's when walishtuka zaidi, because the cervical vertebra bones, C6 was completely crushed, which now had compressed the spine, and now pia spine yangu ilikuwa imejicompress yenyewe. So they had to put me on head traction ndo I decompress, ndo nikienda theater itakuwa decompressed na sijaendelea hapo.
Mark came in with a spinal cord injury at level C5, C6, that is up here. So, to explain it better, our muscles are supplied by nerves, and that those nerves have to come from somewhere, and they come from the spinal cord. And they get out of the spinal cord at different levels, right? And So they come out through something we call the spinous processes. And those spinous processes start from, they are in different levels. We have the cervical, we have the thoracic, we have the lumbar, and the sacral. So the cervical is up here, the thoracic is here, the lumbar is here, and the sacral is down there. So his injury was up here, meaning the muscles that are supplied below the C7 are completely compromised in terms of nervous supply. So for him, our goal for him will be to work with what is remaining, or rather the muscles that are supplied by the nerves that are remaining, right? Let's say for him it's a C7, C6, C7. C1 helps us to do like this. C2 helps us to do like this. C3 helps us to do like this, like this. That is C3. With C4 helps us to do like this. And C4 helps us to do like this. C5 helps us to do like this. And C6 helps us to do like this. So meaning those are the movements that are present for him. The movements that are absent are doing like this, and the wrist joints and movements down here are completely compromised. So we have to train him to use what is all the movements that are there to ensure that he is able to do some activities of daily living.
So just to take you back, when you have said you are with your brother and your cousin, what happened to them?
Now this is the part of the story where I don't know, but I was told kutoka kwenye niliuliza. So what exactly happened? It was on a Sunday morning. I don't know where we were going because I was sleeping in the back seat kwa gari ya brango. And what I was told is that there was a border guy mwenye, he was on speed. So there was a border guy mwenye aliingia kwa barabara from a feeder road, akam confused. Now to avoid hitting him, gari kaenda off-road, ikagonga nini hizi carvert hizi zinakuwa kwa barabara, so ikagonga hiyo stuff. And since nilikuwa nimelala tu hivi, nikatupwa mbele, nikagonga kiti ya passenger. Then now I fell, nikalala kwa back seat. So nilikuwa nimelala tu kama nimeangalia juu, but I couldn't talk or say anything. So my brother and my cousin, they rushed me to the nearest hospital. Wow, they were nothing like happened to them because waligongwa na airbags na walikuwa wamefunga belt. So was rushed to the nearest hospital kwenye walinikata wangenichukua in my situation. So by then my mom had been alerted and also my dad. Walikuwa nakuja kwa hiyo hospitali yenye nilikuwa nimekataliwa. So I don't know whose car came. Nikapelekwa nayo to a hospital in Kikuyu called Life Care, where now sasa ndo walijua where the issue was, and I got first care called Life Care Kikuyu. So huko nikapigwa x-ray ya kifua, shingo. Yeah, so by then, according to what I read from the report, it's that my neck was a bit swollen. It was swollen. Couldn't feel miguu. My hands bado zilikuwa na power. I think the right one was 5 out of 5 and the left one was 4 out of 5. Then so after they had known where the injury was, nikawekwa neck collar, you know the neck collar ile ya kushikilia hapa kwa shingo, inashikilia kichwa, I mean. Then also catheterized. Yeah, and they tried to stabilize me there, and also kanipea analgesics. So nikiwa huko, that's when I got, niliamka at some point. I think I was unconscious, I don't know, but hapo ndo niliamka mara ya kwanza. Naamka naona watu, but I couldn't talk or say anything. Tena naamka napata watu hapo, so I saw my brother-in-law. This is what I was told. So my brother-in-law nikamuita jina, and from there I think that's when I was ambulance ikakuja, nikakuwa referred to Kenyatta. So I can remember that part. Nikiamka I canaona, but it's not that clear in my head. Nikiamka then rudi tena kulala. Then the next time naamka I was in na ambulance. Nauliza tunaenda wapi, kaniambia tunaenda, I think sikumbuki niliambiwa tunaenda wapi, Kenyatta, I don't know, can't remember. Then the other time naamka, like that time najipata niko kwa stretcher nikikimbishwa Kenyatta. Then the other time naamka najipata niko kwa bed huko Kenyatta kwa emergencies. Also, this also part of the story that I was told is that nikiwa kwa emergency, that's when wakani assess, and the news were broken to my uncle that the accident has already happened. I mean, the injury has already happened, and now it's no longer an emergency, since nilikuwa nishakuwa numb mwili yote, from the chest, from up here going all the way down. But nakumbuka nikidungwa morphine and I felt a bit high. So okay, so so the other time nakumbuka nikipelekwa nikiwa kwa hizo machine ya CT scan. Luckily there were no injuries in the head. So the only part nilikuwa na injury ni tu kwa kichwa. Miguu, pelvic ilikuwa tu sawa, collarbone ilikuwa tu sawa. Everything else was okay except now the injury kwa spine, which now had made me completely numb.
Yeah. And how long did you stay at the hospital?
I stayed at the hospital for 2 months. Actually, December and January. I stayed in the hospital for 2 months. The first, now after, did I mention the news were broken to my uncle? Mwenye hata he was not ready for the news. Alishtuka. So now we can go back to where I had left it, about the MRI. So the MRI was done, ikaonyesha now where the injury is. So medication ilikuwa kuanza na hiyo head traction, the one I had talked about, and of which nilikaa nayo for 6 weeks. 6 weeks on head traction, no turning, no nothing. It wasn't easy, but I survived the head traction, although niliambiwa not after now. Kutoka hapo ndo nikaambiwa na one of the people who work at Kenyatta that not many people survived that, but have made it through. So after the head traction on 21st of January, it was on a Friday, that's when I was taken to the theater for now decompressing and I don't know, there's a word they used, nailing, is it needling? I can't remember very well. So took me to the theater. Me, I thought it would be like a 2-hour or 4-hour procedure. Man, it took 8 hours. Mi naingia theater, niliingia saa 4 in the morning, accompanied by my brother and my friend Sam. So kuingia theater, nikawekwa hizo madawa and boom. So naamka and apparently I wasn't in pain at all. So naamka mi nadhania ni kitu around saa 8 hivi. Naulizia saa ni saa ngapi, naambiwa ni saa 1.
So you have told us ulikuwa Kenyatta. Talk to me about as in, were people coming to visit you, your friends, your family?
Since I got the accident, my mom has been there for me kila siku. She's been visiting me every day. Da kazi nikaliacha. Nimekuwa kuja tu kila siku with my sister as well. My sister hata amekuwa kikuja in the morning before she gets to work, anakuja, then jioni akitoka job anakuja. That's how it was at Kenyatta. Then I had a lot of friends who were coming to visit me. Hata siwezi kuambia wenye wakuja na wenye walikuja, like they were very many, very many. Yani to an extent that the guards walikuwa wanajua kuna mtu anaitwa Kioko. Yani wadu walikuwa nafukuzwa. Marafiki walikuwa wengi sana. So yeah, my friends have been there, and also my family and relatives.
Oh, so it happened unexpectedly. How did you like cope? And you know, mtu anaweza kuwa maybe na mental health, maybe depression. How was it for you?
Well, yeah, it happened unexpectedly. But honestly speaking, the whole time, juzi tu ndo nimeanza kufikiria about the accident and about my current situation and how I'm going to deal with it. And what's next after all this? How can I make myself useful, rather purposeful again with my current situation? I hadn't thought about all that. It's like actually it's not like, but I was kind of blocking my mind not to think about it. So nimekuwa tu nikifikiria, got to blank. I wasn't thinking about anything. So saizi ndo nimeanza kufikiria about it and now with the motivation of each day improvement, now I think I'm heading somewhere.
And what inspires you every morning to wake up and just live this day?
Once again, I'll talk of the daily progress, like nashtukia maybe tukioga ama nikipaka mafuta ama I just realized that I can feel this part, like my sensations are coming back bit by bit, patches by like in patches. So like nashtukia, like I can feel this part ya mguu, which now those are things that motivate me and showing me there is still hope.
And what about the mark on your neck?
This is something that kinda ilishtua watu wengi sana, because you know, everyone akisikia it's a spinal cord surgery, they think it's going to be kunyuma. But now the thing with some spinal cord surgery, especially on the neck, zinafanyangwa hapa mbele. You see, if you can touch the back of your neck, you can feel that ngozi yenye iko hapo next to the spine ni ndogo sana. So you can imagine narala hivi na wamefanya surgery huko nyuma, that wound would never heal. So they used this rod, wakapitia chini ya skin, went this way hadi wakafika huko nyuma kwa spine. So kufika huko, they removed the cervical vertebra 6, which was crushed. Wakaitoa and they had to put implants. Now kutoa hiyo bone wakaweka implants which are connecting cervical vertebra 6, I mean cervical vertebra 5 and cervical vertebra 7. So tuseme kichwa yangu imeshikiliwa na chuma. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I have this mark. So hii kubwa ndo walipitia kufanya surgery huko nyuma, then the small one ndo walikuwa wameweka pipe yenye imeenda hadi kwa point of injury to remove the waste after the surgery. The spinal cord injury, it's one of the most complicated things I've come across in my life. Yeah, in the moment you have a spinal cord injury, everything changes. Like sensations. Before I had no sensations from the chest going all the way down. Couldn't feel anything. Only part I could feel it's hapa tu na kichwa. But saizi I'm having patches in imerudi. I can feel some patches, but I can't differentiate hot, cold, pain, zote. Then the last, also the spinal cord injury inakuja with like a whole lot of other problems. Something like you going to the peeing. Since now my bladder is not completely empty, nimekuwa with having frequent UTIs since the bladder haiempty kabisa. So to a point we had to move to a suprapubic catheter, that is one which is inserted directly to the bladder from the stomach. To a point they had breathing complications. They still brought about by the spinal cord injury. Had to be taken into the ICU for almost a week and on oxygen. I thought I was dying. Then kuna siku zingine unaamka, it's funny and it's weird. Unaamka and you're sweating like half. You see, you're sweating on the right side peke. Then siku zingine unaamka, I'm sweating on the left side peke. Other days joto imepanda, niko na temperatures too. Zinasomoko 38, 39. What else is this spinal cord injury? Now I'm starting to learn, if I'm sweating this way, what is the issue? If my body is behaving this way, what is the issue? Also blood pressure kuna wakati inashuka zaidi, especially on the first few days when I started sitting on a wheelchair. BP ilikuwa inashuka sana, inashuka hadi naona black, and I had to be put back to bed. Tunashuka tena, inashuka, narudishwa kwa bed, and after kuzoea kuketi, saizi huwa inapanda zaidi. So some of the things, then now with the spinal can't walk. We don't know, it's not predictable how soon or when I'm going to walk. Since as we all know, some of the spinal cord, it's one of the cells that, but according to what we know and what we've read and heard, they don't regenerate. So what now has been helping me, it's physiotherapy, and trying now to build on the muscles zenye ziko active. Like today my physiotherapist was showing me what I should expect from my body and what I should not expect, depending on the point of injury. Tulifika, I should have this movement, also lifting my arm, fingers, also while in a lying position should not expect this, but saizi nasaidiwa juu ya gravity. So we are building on this so that niweze ku work around with what I have. Yeah, so Just some of the things about the spinal cord injury, even ndo nimekumbuka. But ni vitu tu mob sana.
And does what you've worn inside like this one help in any way?
There was a time I was wearing compression socks. They're just very tight like these ones. And after kuzivaa for a few weeks ndo nikarealize nasikia sikuembea hii mguu ya which side, right left, hii mguu ya left. So apparently naisikia. So hizi inanisaidia kurudi bado I think they're helping in kurudisha your sensations when something is tight. Like right now my hands are very very hypersensitive. Saizi hata siwezi prikiwa ama kuguzwa na kitu warm ama just this, it's sensitive in like a painful way. Yeah, also saizi tu vidole, not, I don't know, can't expect anything, but you see if you look at the knuckles, ina hizi zinaonekana, so these zimeanza kurudi, these two fingers, these ones, no, you can see the knuckles, so they have not been very active, but we are still learning modified ways on like how to pick things. Like if I want to pick something, I'll do this to open, then nashika, and I'll do this to close, naweza kuchukua, but sina ile nguvu ya kushika something tightly. Still going on with the physiotherapy. So far I've been able to pull like my biceps are very strong. Nimeanza kuvuta how many? 90 pounds. 90 pounds, that's actually 10 pounds. Nimeanza kuvuta 10 pounds kwa ile, I don't know what it's called, that machine ya kuvuta hivi. We are still working on balance to be able to sit upright without falling. There are days that we stand, although we are standing without any objective other than making my joints strong. Na zikumbuke they still wait to carry. Yeah, some of the things nakumbuka. Actually, something I've also remembered about this spinal cord injury. There are days, you see, venye nitakaa pale kwa jua, hata jua ikuwe kali aje. Mimi I'm okay with it, but where huwezi tulia hapo, because for you it's going to be like very hot. For me it's fine. Then like on cold days you would find me sweating heavily. I tend to sweat heavily on cold days. And no, it's not sweating partially, but not the whole body. And when it's cold, na feeling mwili yangu ina freezing yote. So it's not able to regulate temperatures as it used to. And also connote problems in the body. It's not, I have to like learn the body right now. Don't enjoy what, if something happens like this, then this is the issue. Yeah.
How are you mobilizing and the journey of being independent?
Well, the journey of being independent, it's not that easy. It's quite difficult. So we can start with so I'm starting to learn like adaptive ways of doing things, like feeding. So currently they have a spoon yenye imefungwa na kaka rubber band tu yenye inafungiliwa hapo kwa mkono, then inakuwa adjusted if you fit between the fingers, and I'll be able to feed myself since I have this movement. That's one. Then if it's food yenye natumia na nini na something like breakfast, if it's dry food, I can easily use my hands kuchukua and kukula through the modified way of picking things that I had shown you earlier. So that is feeding and now moving around. by now I should be able to push myself on a normal wheelchair, but I don't have grip kwa mikono. My fingers too ziko tu. So siwezi shika wheelchair niweze kujipush. It's not easy. Actually siwezi, so I have to wait for someone akuja ni push.
How are you fundraising? Are there apps or a PAYBILL?
Actually, I'm fundraising through Mchanga. It's a fund. I have a FundMe link, which is on my social media accounts at Mungai It Is and Mungai Diaries on TikTok. And also have a PAYBILL number, and which is 891 300 and account number 55327.
The viewer you've heard from Mark, he is fundraising through Mchanga, and okay, the PAYBILL is 891 300. The account number is 55327. The SEMA YOTE crew, we actually wish you well and we pray for you. Everything will be fine and you'll actually get the amount of money to the money to get the electric chair and also your medication. And that was Mark's story. I hope you have listened each and every bit of it. So I'll just remind you to go and changa and fundraise for him so that he can actually be able to move around. And anything you have, even the little amount can still help. You know, I was taught when I was growing up to at least help, because the world turns. So to learn education school yenyu, so you can at least help with that little amount you have. When you bring the little amount, the other one brings the other amount. And was Mark's story, and Mark has a very, very, very touching story. And I know wewe mwenye uko hapo nje, you have listened to the story and it has touched you in one way or another. So there is hope for Mark, and when we all come together and give the little we have, Mark will be able to get the medical attention he needs and he will be fine. So Mark needs to see a specialist, especially a neurosurgeon, either in India, UK or US. He needs a sum of money ranging from 5 million to 10 million. This can be made possible by you who is watching, by sharing. The more people get to view this story, the more people will be touched by the story of Mark. And it will be easier and faster for us to be able to fundraise the right amount of money for Mark to get well. But until next time, ciao.